What's going on YouTube? So today I have this game I want to show you. It is amazing. My king runs this far. You see the eval bar? You see it get there. I thought it would be a great image to show before we get into the review. It was a very fun game. I'm back to 2000, I think 37 now. So 2037 Blitz. I've been winning some games. I had some nail biters. I have a lot of games I'll show throughout the week and the day probably. But this one was the most fun, so I want to show you this one. And before we get into it, make sure you subscribe if you enjoy my content. Like, comment, any type of metric really helps a lot. I'm a small account, and the recording of this video I have 32 subscribers, so please add to it. So they go knight to f3, I go e6, they go pawn here to e3, and go pawn here to d5. Now this is a very normal London, not London, wow. I play in London so much that I automatically in my head like, oh, this is normal London system, but this is not the London. They go pawn here to b3, I go knight here to f6, bishop to b2, bishop to e7, pawn to d4, and this is a ready opening. I have a 25% win rate, as you can see, so I do not do very good against it. This game, it turned around and it probably upped it, so before it was actually lower than 25%. I lose a lot to it. I don't know why I lose so much to it. I think it's that I've never studied a proper response, and I've kind of just freestyled it, and that may be a reason why I'm not too good against it. But they go bishop to d3, I'm pawn here to c5, they castle, I castle, knight b to d2, bishop to b7, queen here to e2, and knight here to c6. Now I wanted to speed run all of that because I felt it was very boring. It's just development. My thought process for the knight move, this is what I did think about. Either going knight there or knight where I did go. Ultimately I decided knight to c6 because knight to d7 felt wrong. Like I'm looking at knight to b4 potentially with this knight here. I'm attacking this pawn, and if I were to have gone here, there are just no squares that I'm really a fan of going to. This square is obviously already taken. This square is protected. Now maybe it prevents there, but even if they were to move their knight to e5, I just don't feel it's some huge advantage that I had to at all costs make sure they didn't do. So I ended up going knight to c6 instead. Although a5 is better, I do go a5 in this game. Maybe you saw it later in the video. You see, like, not later, earlier in the video when I showed the part later in the game. Maybe you saw it, but I do go a5 eventually. They go pawn here to a3. I go a5 as I mentioned. This is the best move here. It makes a lot of sense. You want to clamp down on the b4 square, so pretty logical that you come to that conclusion. That you just want to stop it, because if they get pawn to b4, it kind of throws off your pawn chain, and obviously this ruins your pawn chain too, because a move and go here, this is a pawn chain. This you can't really call a pawn chain, but this would ruin your pawn structure, and now they can't ruin your structure. They go rook here, f to d1. I go rook a to c1, c8. Wow. And they take, I take, and pawn here to e4. Now after e4, I was looking at the position, and I wasn't loving what I was seeing. As you see, this rook here is on this. My queen's on this file with this rook, albeit very congested right now. It will end up being opened up, and I was just not a huge fan. I was feeling very uncomfortable, so I take the pawn. This is a mistake, a huge mistake. This is an overreaction. I should have just stood pat and went rook here to e8. Let's actually show that. Rook to e8, and we can do show moves. They push, knight back. Yeah, and this is all very, I wouldn't say, this is not easy. I haven't played it move by move with this, but this is very straightforward, and I should have just went for more solid play. And I end up winning, and it ends up being the result, but not because of what I did. I did have the wrong way going about it at the beginning, but it ended up working out. So I take the pawn, they take the knight. Knight captures, bishop captures. Now this is a mistake. It should have taken with the queen if they're in checkmate. And I actually, this was on stream, so if you like my videos, you like my reviewing, I can set that on stream like, oh, I missed queen captures e4 instead of bishop captures, because if they're in checkmate and then the queen would still be they have potential to have a discovered attack here on the d3 square. So I end up a little worried, but they take with the bishop. Luckily, the queen here to c7, another miss. And the computer actually says that queen to e7 is much better. If you, yeah, it goes from 2.2 to what, 0.3. So that's a huge difference and a huge miss. But luckily, again, I end up getting the win. They have this brilliant move, bishop captures h7. And here, I didn't almost resign, because I usually don't resign unless it's immediately checkmate. But I thought something like, wow, I really messed up, because I think I lost a game before this as well. Or not a game before this. I lost a game recently in a very bad manner. It's like, did this again. But luckily, I overcome a brilliant move. That should be the title. I overcome a brilliancy. Just came up with that. But king captures h7, and they blunder. They blunder. I didn't know they blundered during the game. I still thought I was losing here. I go king here to g6, which is a great move. I was very happy that I found this. So they just go queen here. So what is this? Queen to d3. Oops, not there. That is not it. They go queen to d3. Let's go to the line. F5 is the best move. Knight G5 check. King G6. Knight captures E6. It's a fork. Queen B8. Queen D2. Really? Bishop E7. Yeah, and you get the idea. Why can I not move this rook? What if I rook F E8? Wow. This is a long line. So this was not as a normal Greek gift, but they mess up. They go with the knight. And again, as I said, neither of us thought it was a mistake. They thought it was the right move. But after queen here to G4, I'm sitting here like, man, no matter what I do, I lose. Now, take a while to move, I think, if you see. Yeah, I take, what is that, 32 seconds, so decent amount of time. And I find F5. Now, I played F5. I kind of did it like, I'll just make a move. Like, I'm going to lose anyways. But I realized as they were taking time to think, because they ended up taking a very long time. Like, they'd take over a minute. I'm like, wait, this actually is working. I'm actually, like, safe. They already sacrificed to take that pawn, so they're down a piece. They're about to lose another piece, because if you don't see it, they go queen here. Queen captures, pawn captures, king captures. And I'm up to minor pieces. If they were to go here, rook over, queen G3 again, same thing, trade queens, and take the rook, and then now I have this open file as well. So no matter what happened, that was not a good arrow. But I had the open H file. No matter what happened here, they would have lost. So it took them a while. What is this? 9 seconds plus. So a minute 34. A lot of their time allotted to this move. They ultimately didn't matter. I should have spent some more time on this move here. It happens. Time management is hard. It's something masters are really good at. But I take the knight and my king. It is very far off the board. Because of their lack of pieces, it's just not very endangered very much. They don't have two knights. They don't have a bishop. And I have two bishops in the knight. Their pawns, albeit over there, can't really checkmate. I have cover that I can get to. The rook is too slow to do anything to really threaten me. They take this pawn. Now pawn to b5 is better. Let's say example they did go here. After e5, check, king f6, there's just nothing here. So they went there, queen f7, just for example. And now after all those checks and all these issues that may seem as the king is over here weak, there's just nothing there. Like work lift, queen over, they just don't have enough pieces. So they take this pawn. Now taking this pawn makes sense. They want to keep any chance alive. They want to get more material. They do bring a rook in eventually, as you'll see, but they just want to try. And I respect that. They give a check. I move my knight to block. Any other move felt flawed to me. I wonder if it's the only move actually. It might be, or queen e5 was a move too. But queen e5, would they do this? Oh, whoa, I have so many pieces that this is actually fine. The rook here runs into some issues here, and then checkmate. So you can't block with the rook. King here also felt like it has some issues. It's queen h3. Yeah, I didn't see the exact thing, but I knew that I had to block. So I choose the knight to block. They give a check. I move my king over. Another thing, you don't really want to do this. No, you can do that. Wait, queen h3. Oh yeah, this is fine too. This is just such a good position with a few moves. But I thought you couldn't do that, so I tried to avoid doing it. They go king over. They go pawn to g4. I take the king. I could have en passant it. Didn't even consider it. But after I take this pawn, you look at the position. I'm attacking their queen and I'm attacking their rook. So there's just a whole lot of attacking going on. And I'm already, if you see the material count, +5 material. So it's just not looking too good for the white side of the board right now. They take a pawn, take the queen. I thought for a second about taking the bishop or the rook. And I'm like, I'm really overthinking it. Because for a second I saw a fake attack there. I'm like, oh, what about this? And what am I talking about? Just king out the way. So that wasn't anything to worry about. So I trade the queen, not trade, I take the queen, they give a check, I take this pawn, and bring the rook over, I take, check, and this is a nice little ending, check, and I take, and they resign here, because there were so many ways this bishop was hanging. So if they went, let's say, for example, this wouldn't have happened. So if it was like this is still hanging because of this pin here. So there were just a lot of pins in which they were under. So I ended up going for this one, and I get the win. So this is a nice win. It definitely feels good to be, let's go to my rating. I think it's 2037. Feels good to be back around here. And you can see I've actually lost rating in the last 90 days. Like I mentioned, I was 2133 a few months ago. So it sucks that I'm like still 100 points away from my peak. But in the last 7 days, I went up 132. Because I was very low. Like in 30 days, I hit a low of 1836. Where is it at? Why is it not showing it? I was 1836 though. Or was it not? No, I definitely was low 1800s. I actually have it recorded, so I'm confused why it's not showing. Like it's on my account, but it doesn't have it here. You see, I've been up to 132, so I was 1905 or no, what? I was, yeah, it was 1905. I was lower, promise. But this is my rating. It feels good to be on the good side. I have a lot of wins with white. Black is like almost even, but white I have it dominant. 40 wins and 17 losses. That's pretty good. I'm trying to get back to 2100. I'm trying to improve my chess and my tactical mind. Thank you for watching and coming along the journey with me. If you did enjoy, please subscribe and have a good one.